Welcome to our Disaster Recovery Strategies module. It is important that you develop a disaster recovery strategy system development lifecycle. This lifecycle is important to make sure that in the event of an emergency, you'll be able to recover successfully and keep your business up and running. First, we would start with the prevention and mitigation step. It would obviously be better for us to completely avoid an incident or prevent an emergency from occurring, but obviously we do not always have that luxury. We then move on to the preparedness phase where we take proactive steps and we implement these steps prior to an emergency occurring so that we can be ready to respond in the event of an emergency. During the emergency response phase, we will activate our business continuity plan to make sure that our business continues to function and to make sure that we manage all of the effects of the incident. After the incident has occurred, we move to our secure recovery phase. The objective here is to return our business to the condition that it was in before the incident occurred. We want to make sure that we improve the process after we complete the recovery and determine if there's anywhere we can improve. And you can see the process will then begin again with prevention and mitigation. And this entire software development lifecycle revolves around safety. Safety for our employees, our building, our systems, and so on. It is important that you develop a disaster recovery plan, or DRP. This will help you to maintain your IT infrastructure at an alternate site after some type of emergency, such as a fire or perhaps a tornado, for an extended period of time. Disaster recovery plans typically apply to major physical disruptions that will deny you access to your primary facility. Your continuity of operations plan, or COOP plan, focuses on relocation in case you have to move to your alternate site. It is important that you prepare a very detailed and written disaster recovery plan so that individuals know what to do in case of a disaster. You do not want to have a verbal or non-written plan and assume that they know what to do when a disaster occurs. This plan should have your logistical, technical, and non-technical elements, such as your staff and equipment and what they need to do and where that equipment is located if they need to access it. All of your employees need to be trained on what their roles and responsibilities are when an incident occurs, and you should make sure that you test the plan regularly to verify that your systems will be restored as expected and that they'll be able to come online and take care of your business and make sure everything's up and running. It is also important to make sure that your plan is kept up to date as you add new systems, new employees, or new locations. Basically, any modifications made to your business need to be included in the disaster recovery plan in case an emergency occurs. Your disaster recovery plan should have upper management support in order to have good governance. It is basically designed to make sure that your business can survive and provides business continuity so that your business can continue to function. Before you can prepare for disaster, you need to understand what your systems do and how they interact with each other. It is critical that you protect your company's assets when your systems are not available. You'll need to define the recovery scope and your priorities after a disaster occurs. For example, are there certain systems that need to be recovered first because they're more important than other systems? All of these should be considered in your disaster recovery plan. You should make sure that you challenge your employees by putting them into different situations and to improve their responsiveness. You can help them to be less confused and concerned by having written procedures that they can follow in the event of an emergency, and by having drills to make the employees comfortable and give them confidence to know that they'll be able to perform in an emergency. It will help them to make logical decisions when they're going through a crisis. If your employees know what you expect them to do during a disaster, then the management staff can address the larger picture of dealing with the business's issues rather than watching all of the employees to make sure that they're following the plan correctly. Your disaster recovery plan focuses on restoring your business functions as quickly as possible when your critical business operations are disrupted by a disaster or some other type of incident. It will help you to prepare for and evaluate multiple types of scenarios that it could occur, and you should plan to restore your functions at the original location if it is feasible. If not, you should have an alternate site that you can fail over to or relocate to when you activate the disaster recovery plan because you are not able to quickly restore your critical business functions at that primary location. Your continuity of operations plan, or COOP plan, is where your essential IT functions are transferred to an alternate site. You'll need to make sure that you have backups of all your data so that you can restore your entire operation. These backups should be tested on-site as well as off-site. You would not want to relocate to your alternate site only to learn that your backups were not functioning properly, and now you don't have any of the data that you need at your new site. Remember that you may not need just the data, you may need a complete system. You may need to have servers in place at your alternate site that you can boot up and get up and running when an incident occurs, and to be able to restore the data to. For the CISSP examination, you should remember that the disaster recovery plan focuses on maintaining your business operations, and that could be at your original location, and the continuity of operations plan, or COOP plan, still works to restore your business functions, but it involves taking those business functions to an alternate site. It is important that everyone knows what their responsibilities are when a disaster occurs. In the planning phase, you will need support from your senior management because they will need to provide you with financial support as well as operational support. You'll need to develop and document your maintenance and testing strategies, monitor the progress of your plan development and make sure it's being executed properly. You'll have to prioritize and identify any mission-critical systems that cannot be offline for any significant period of time. Make sure that you have teams in place in order to execute the plan when a disaster occurs. And your disaster recovery plan will help you to reduce liability because your senior management staff could be liable for failure to develop a plan and put that plan into place. Your Business Continuity Planning Committee, or BCP, will help you to execute your business impact analysis. Here you need to make sure that you're planning for your appropriate processes and procedures, and make sure also that you're coordinating with your stakeholders and members of all of the departments in your business. Your computer emergency response team and your business continuity planning teams may need to carry out the recovery if an incident occurs. You should make sure that they have the training that they need and the tools and funding to be able to accomplish their job successfully and quickly. These individuals could be broken down into 3 different teams. Your first responders are part of the rescue team. They will be the first to respond to an incident, and they will need to prioritize the incident by determining how severe the situation is. Your recovery team will help to move your operations to the alternate site if necessary, and your salvage team will be responsible for getting that original facility back up and running, or if it's not able to be corrected or repaired, then they'll need to scrap the original facility and either begin looking for new facilities or decide to use the alternate site as a new permanent location. This concludes our Disaster Recovery Strategies module. Thank you for watching.